Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Wekiva High School welcomes you to Mustang Arena for Game 4, our final game of the 2019 Mustang Preseason Classic. Please welcome our guests wearing the black jerseys, visitors on the scoreboard from Evans High School. They are the Trojans. And wearing the white jerseys, home on the scoreboard from Timber Creek High School, please welcome the Wolves. Let's meet the lineups for both teams. We'll begin with our guests from Evans. And we'll start with number 1, Sierra Lindquist. Number 2, Michaela Coates. Number 3, Alicia Bethel. Number 10, Daria McKellen. And number 20, Yasmin Hightower. And for the Wolves, starting for them, 5'6" senior number 0, Jordan Avery. 5'6" junior number 2, Tatiana Ortiz. 5'6" senior number 3, Sarah Napoli. 6'2" sophomore number 22, Savannah Henderson. And finally for the Wolves, 6'1" junior number 32, Colleen Shanahan. The officials for tonight's game once again from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. And welcome to those of you joining us on the live stream. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here along with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, ready to take you through our fourth and final contest of our Season 13 Preseason Classic here at Wekiva High School.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark, again. Excellent job behind the mic. Although I'm not sure if we can match the drama and excitement of the previous game. Which
oh, no, we've got that's a tall order to live up to. A game that stayed tied or nearly tied most of the way through. And then finally, it ended up being a 2-point victory for Colonial at the end. Two top teams, two perennial playoff contenders, and here we'll see if we can get a taste of that on the nightcap.
Yeah, we got a third perennial team here, not necessarily in the order, but just the number. Timber Creek.
Napoli can't get the 3 to go. It's going to go out of bounds off the Trojans. And we had a really tough contest between the Wolves and the Mustangs last night. The Mustangs took the victory there, but the Wolves gave them a run for their money. Evans, on the other hand, really struggled against the Colonial Grenadiers last night. We'll see if they can get it going tonight a little better. Colleen Shanahan puts the Wolves on the board. And Henderson had the assist there, and now we're going to get a steal and a foul. Henderson is fouled on the attempt. Foul called against number 2, Michaela Coates. That's her first. And the team's first. Henderson shooting 2.
Quick start here for Evans. Very strong start, for Timber Creek. And again, as you mentioned, Mark, Timber Creek is one of the teams expected to make a long or deep run into the FHSAA playoffs. And last season, Wekiva defeated Timber Creek on their way to the state championship. Of course, Wekiva will not meet them this year in the playoffs as they are no longer in 8A.
Foul is called against number 2, Tatiana Ortiz, on the push. That's her first and the team's first.
Wekiva moved down to 8A. They were both in 9A last year. But in that particular case...
Out of bounds, Wolves ball.
And, of course, I bring this up because you mentioned, Mark, Timber Creek is a strong contender to not only qualify for the playoffs each and every year to make a deep run. Wekiva was actually behind at one point by a dozen points.
Baseline. And it's going to go out of bounds off the Wolves. So, yeah, a lot of real strong defense coming on from the Wolves here, putting the press on and not giving the Trojans any room to breathe. You see the full court press coming on again here.
3 turnovers already for Evans.
Yeah, it's been yielding results. Still trying to get across the half-court line, and she'll have to airmail it to Coates. And Coates throws it too high for Hightower to come down with it. That'll be out of bounds, Wolves ball. So make it 4 turnovers in the opening minute and a half. That's something we'll expect Coach Bellamy to address at halftime.
Yeah, and taking the idea here of these turnovers and Timber Creek really establishing their strength and their capabilities possessed, they're only shooting 40% from the field. Yet they have that 5-0 lead.
And we're going to get a strip here. So Savannah Henderson is going to earn both a steal and a turnover since she grabbed it but had to walk with it in order to keep it.
So Timber Creek now will retreat to half-court defense. They are playing a triangle and 2. Looks like a mixed combination of man-to-man and zone, and a 5th turnover.
Shanahan gets the steal. Jumper from Napoli, short, bounces off, rebound goes to McKellen. Back to the other end, and another turnover, this one unforced. Out of bounds, Wolves ball. And Neal, between the forced turnovers and the unforced turnovers, the Trojans unable to get any momentum going here.
Yeah, again, like I said, Timber Creek is now actually, they're shooting under 40%, only 2 of 7 from the field. And they're dominating this game. They have a 5-0 lead, so.
No basket, traveling, Trojans ball. Checking into the game for Timber Creek, Melina Thompson. Evans sends in Shayla Linder. Backcourt violation, Wolves ball.
So again, Evans forced to catch that ball while leaning backwards. And when she came down, in order to straighten herself up, she had to take a step forward. Now Evans, we got to play here from them. Good anticipation.
Yeah, Lindquist not able to score on the fast break, though, and they'll give it right back.
So you like to say, Mark, one good play deserves another.
Foul is called against Trojans, number 4, Shayla Linder. That's her first personal foul. And the team's second, checking into the game for the Wolves, Amaya Patterson.
So only 3 minutes into this ball game, not even halfway, Timber Creek has a 7-1 advantage in field goal attempts to go along with the 8-2 advantage in turnovers.
Yeah, putting it one way, the Trojans have only missed one shot. Of course, they only taken one shot. Block. That was Daria McKellen that came up with that one. Coates for 3. Off the mark. Patterson on the board. Avery stops and pops, but it's too hot. Rebound goes to Linder. Linder tries to go coast to coast from the top of the key, and she's going to get called on a charge. Offensive charge is called against number 4, Shayla Linder. That was taken by Sarah Napoli. It's her second. The team's third. Checking into the game for the Wolves, number 22, Savannah Henderson. Also into the game for the Trojans, number 22, Taisha Childs.
Unlike Timber Creek, Evans is not using any type of half-court or full-court defensive strategy. They're letting Timber Creek bring the ball up.
Putback won't go. McKellen comes up with it after a contested rebound. Michaela Coates puts the Trojans on the board for 3.
And there's why you need to be able to convert a few of those attempts that you've created. Again, Timber Creek has dominated this game, controlled the team as far as exerting their strengths.
Putback made by Amaya Patterson.
They've pretty much done whatever they've wanted to, Timber Creek has, yet they only had a 5-3 lead after that tray went down.
Thompson pounds to the key, and it's Thompson on the pass to Henderson to pick up 2 for the Wolves. Coates swings to the corner, and it's an air ball for Childs on the 3. Rebound goes to Rios. Rios going to try to get a fast break basket, but the pass is too hot and goes out of bounds. Out of bounds Wolves ball. Checking into the game for the Wolves is number 12, Ayanna Dixon. Evans also sends in Becker and Francois. Francine Francois is fouled on the putback attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against Wolves number 11, Maya Patterson. That is her first personal foul and the team's second. Returning to the game for the Wolves, Colleen Shanahan. Francois gets 1 of 2 at the free throw line. That cuts it to a 5-point game for the Wolves.
And Evans, Timber Creek pushes that ball up quickly.
Foul is called against number 22, Taisha Childs. That's her first personal foul, and the team's 4th.
Timber Creek has really played this game at a fast pace, up-tempo.
Rebound goes to Rios. Going to try to score in transition here. The 3 won't fall for Henderson, but a good rebound there in the paint by Shanahan. She'll get it back out to the corner. Dixon can't get the 3 to go either. Back to Shanahan again, and we'll get a foul. Foul is called against number 1, Sierra Lindquist. That's her first personal foul, the team's 5th.
So we did talk a lot about those first 4 minutes, shots being taken. It was severely in Timber Creek's favor. Since then, it's been pretty much about even.
And Ayanna Dixon for 3 on the pass from Jordan Avery.
But again, when you get off to the start that Timber Creek did as far as building such a huge advantage, as we get the 10th turnover from Evans.
Steal by Berkner. Brooke Berkner for 3 on the pass from Dixon.
If you're Timber Creek, you can afford to pretty much play even the rest of the way after that start.
30-second timeout is requested by the Trojans. And we'll take it with them. We'll be right back. right, welcome back to Mustang Arena. Fast action working from Francois. They're no good, though. Shanahan uses her height to pull down the board. We'll go back to the corner again. Avery Dixon is fouled behind the arc. She'll go to the line and shoot 3. The foul is called against number 1, Sierra Lindquist. That's her second personal foul, and the team's 6th.
First free throw attempts of the night for Timber Creek. And we haven't really had a lot of time to talk about with Timber Creek setting such a quick pace, but Timber Creek has 2 players who are over 5 feet 9 inches, and they certainly are using that height advantage. Again, you know, we talk about it more so in the boys' game, but it applies to all sports. It's one thing to have the height, it's another animal to know how to use that height effectively.
In transition, short for Bethel. Rebound goes to Berkner. Foul is called against number 30, Kiara Becker. That's her first personal foul, the team's 7th, and it will send Ayanna Dixon to the line to shoot 1-and-1 bonus for the Wolves.
So Shanahan's out on the bench. She's one of the 2 players who's over 5 feet 9 inches, and yet Timber Creek still does have a height advantage overall.
Foul called against number 0, Jordan Avery, her first, the team's 3rd.
And also, by the way, Mark, Timber Creek is going to be in the bonus the rest of the way. Evans has 7 fouls, and we're not even through with the first quarter.
St. Louis can't get the jumper to go. It's going to go out of bounds off the Trojans. Wolves get the ball. 16.2 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I can even hear the coaching staff of Timber Creek. Every opportunity they get, they're instructing their players to push the ball up the court.
Taisha Childs in transition for the Trojans. And that takes us to the end of the first period. It's 10-point ball game. 16-6 is the score at the end of 8 minutes here in Game 4 of the Wekiva Girls Basketball Preseason Classic. We'll be right back. The Trojans have the opening possession of the second quarter. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Parchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief for our 4th and final game of the 2019 Mustang Preseason Classic.
Yeah, Mark, and absolutely the story of this game has really been Timber Creek's up-tempo, push the ball, pace, has created a huge advantage in a couple of key statistical areas. We talked about them all through the first quarter. Timber Creek shot the ball 21 times compared to only 10 for Evans. And Evans committed 10 turnovers compared to 5 for Timber Creek.
Jordan Avery picks up 3 to open second quarter scoring.
And pretty much we're opening up the same way here in the second as we did the first quarter. 2 turnovers for Evans. So also, want to make the point, this is a 10-point game at the end of the first quarter. It really should have been a lot more. 21 shots taken by Timber Creek compared to only 10 for Evans.
Fouls called against number 11, Amaya Patterson. That's her second personal foul, the team's fourth. McKellen shooting 2.
So Timber Creek is shooting less than 33% from the field. Even if Timber Creek was to say raise that percentage of 7% up to 30, they would probably be up by at least 20 right now. So again, we got a stoppage in the action here as refs are conferring.
Yes, there's one by the training table.
So we're going to have to do some wiping down of the court here. Timber Creek also holds a 15-10 advantage over Evans in rebounds. Of course, not nearly as big as and dominant as the field goal attempts and the turnovers are, but nonetheless still an advantage held by Timber Creek, 3 for 3.
Held ball, possession Wolves.
And again, Evans remains in the 2-3 zone, and they're playing it very traditionally, sticking to the paint.
Henderson's 3 is no good. Foul called against number 11, Amaya Patterson. That's her third personal foul, the team's fifth.
Timber Creek has shown half-court and full-court defenses. 10 minutes into this ball game, now they're going to the half-court.
Francois doesn't get it, but gets her own rebound. Fouls called against number 22, Savannah Henderson. That's her first personal foul, the team's sixth.
Good passing there by Evans once they were able to get the ball into the
second chance basket by Taisha Childs.
And the results is a basket there, getting that nice open shot and moving towards the basket when the ball was caught.
Foul is called against number 5, Amanda St. Louis. That's her first personal foul, the team's 8th, and it will send Jordan Avery to the line to shoot 2.
These will be the 7th and 8th free throw attempt made by Timber Creek, or attempted by Timber Creek. They made 2 of them, so they're now 3 of 7. Second one's good as well. 4 of 8 from the line now from Timber Creek, and now they go back to the full court pressure.
Good bounce pass. Can't get it in from Francois, though, and it's going to go out of bounds off the Trojans.
Again, that was a case of a field goal attempt being taken from underneath the basket, but really did not have a good angle. The body was leaning backwards when that shot was released.
Nice steal here. McKellen has a hard time getting her dribble, but the Wolves will do her a favor and foul her. Foul is called against number 0, Jordan Avery. That's her second personal foul. It's the team's 7th, and it will put the Trojans into bonus. First, number 20, Yasmin Hightower, comes in for Francine Francois, and shooting 1-1, Daria McKellen. No good. Shanahan on the rebound. Going to try to score in transition here. Nope. To the corner. Shanahan on the putback.
And nobody was home there for Evans. Shanahan left wide open. And also, we've talked a lot about Timber Creek, how they push this ball up very efficiently. But really the key to that, and take a look at this the next couple of times they get possession, they like to bring that ball out to the corners and create some open space and make that first entry pass all the way up to half court.
Daria McKellen is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Trojans. The Wolves foul is called against number 32, Colleen Shanahan. That's her first personal foul, the team's 8th.
So Evans, on the other hand, is trying to play a more methodical, grinding style, try to get more physical play. When you play that style, that also slows the pace down somewhat. And my final point is that comparison in styles also means that you have Evans, they play a more thinking man's game, if you will. There's a lot more thought into it as far as anticipation and setting up the plays as opposed to Timber Creek.
All right, we'll correct the previous call. It is, in fact, Trojans' ball. It went off of Shanahan, they're saying. McKellen can't get the jumper to go.
Shanahan pulls down another rebound there.
Third chance basket made by Colleen Shanahan.
Shanahan making it look easy there. Not so much the shots, but just being able to get that ball up. There's not much resistance from Evans.
McKellen is fouled on the floor, but she'll still go to the line to shoot 1-1 bonus. The foul is called against number 10, Annalise Rios. That's her first in the team's 9th.
So again, you mentioned this, Mark. 4:15 left before halftime. Both teams in the bonus.
Henderson in for the Wolves. No basket. Violation called against the Wolves. Checking into the game for Evans, Francine Francois.
Don't you mean Evans? It's against Evans. I thought you said the Wolves. So 2 violations there on 2 free throws. That's a rarity, even in the preseason.
Yeah, 1 for each team. Good deflection there for Coates. Avery tries to float in a jumper. That's not going to go. The rebound goes to Picard. Lindquist takes the ball to the front court. Gets challenged by Napoli.
So Evans, again, as we mentioned, they're more of a methodical team. You're seeing that right here now.
Coates can't get it to go from the baseline. Shanahan, again, using that height to pull down the rebound. Henderson, jumper from the baseline, and it bounces in. Savannah Henderson for 2. I think everybody was ready to go home and write that one off as a miss, but it turned out it bounced in after all.
Yeah, caught the inside of the rim there.
Foul is called against number 32, Colleen Shanahan. That's her second personal foul, the team's 10th, and Francine Francois will shoot 2 for double bonus. Checking into the game for the Trojans, number 3, Alicia Bethel. Henderson on the rebound after Francois goes 0 for 2 at the line. Good look on the 3 from Henderson, but it's a little hot. Rebound goes to Picard. Full court press coming on. Foul is called against number 10, Annalise Rios. That's her second. The Trojans continue into double bonus. Sierra Lindquist shooting 2.
So since the lead has opened up to about 12 points, we have seen a lot more 3-pointers being taken here by Timber Creek.
Checking into the game for the Wolves, Ayanna Dixon.
Some luck of the Trojan there on that row. Nonetheless, the lead remains at 18.
Berkner can't get the 3 to go. Rebound goes to Bethel. The other side, nothing going to happen in transition here. Lindquist will try to get it out, and it's knocked away by Savannah Henderson.
And I think there, that real clearly was youth being shown. That pass was telegraphed even before it came out of the hands on the sideline there.
Yeah, I'm busy trying to do stats at the same time, and I knew she was going to throw that pass. Lindquist's 3 is short. Rebound to Rios. Nice pass, and it is Ayanna Dixon to Savannah Henderson for 2.
Tic-tac-toe there as we get ready for a break here. That was pretty much what you run in the practice called the weave. 3 passes, you're under the basket, and you got the wide open shot.
30-second timeout is requested by the Trojans. And we'll take it with them. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to live action here at Mustang Arena. 2 minutes to go here in the second, and the Trojans trying to stop the bleeding here with some words from Coach Bellamy. And they do a long 2-point jump shot, courtesy of Michaela Coates.
So Evans, again, remaining in that 2-3. They've played it the whole way.
Colleen Shanahan is fouled on the way up. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 20, Yasmin Hightower. That's her first personal foul, and the team's 9th.
1 minute, 38 seconds left. So again, Mark, as we talked, this lead is now currently 18 points, which is a fairly big lead with a minute and a half left in the first half as we get a missed free throw. But the lead really should be more.
Checking into the game for Evans, number 30, Kiara Becker.
Timber Creek has a Timber Creek shot roughly 45 shots compared to 20 for Evans. And when you get that many shots advantage, you really should be able to make more than 33%.
Dixon to Rios for 3.
Oh, well, maybe they heard me. Anyway, if they do, again, they're shooting about 25%. Even if, say, you just raise it to 35%, you're probably hovering around 30. On the other hand, this is a preseason game, so perhaps maybe you're not really focused quite as much on the score in the deficit.
Out of bounds, Wolves ball. $1:04 remaining in the half, and so far the Wolves, I don't know if I can call it making easy work of the Trojans. They're perhaps making it harder on themselves than it could be, but nevertheless, a dominant lead here with a 21-point advantage going into the locker rooms pending the outcome of the next possession or two.
Yeah, this game has never
Savannah
really been
Henderson
in doubt.
from Colleen Shanahan.
The subtleties and the statistics of the game of basketball have never been in doubt as far as who has the advantage and who's been establishing that advantage.
Rebound to Shanahan, an opportunity to score in transition, and they do. Ayanna Dixon on the fast break.
So now, as we approach the end of the first half, get close, we're starting to see Timber Creek now start to more consistently convert these shots.
Trojans do not seem to have clock awareness here. They do get a shot off, but it's no good anyway. And that takes us to halftime, and it is a 25-point ball game. The Wolves will go into the locker room with a 36-11 advantage. And we'll be back shortly. The Trojans have the opening possession of the third quarter. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, and we're going to get a turnover that is going to start the second half the same way that the first half was going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, maybe.
Well, Mark, we got a stoppage here. Again, not much has really changed here. This has been a dominating performance by Timber Creek. Their style, just number one, their style does not match up well with Evans. But you can clearly tell that the skill and talent level is much higher for Timber Creek, and they also have much more experience applying that skill and talent.
Number 10, Daria McKellen on the pass from Shayla Lindor.
So Timber Creek came out, took 10 shots before Evans even got off their first, and pretty much it's gone sour or more south from there if you're Evans.
Trojan foul called against number 5, Amanda St. Louis, her second, the team's first this half, and Sarah-Napoli will shoot 2.
So Timber Creek wound up that first half taking 37 field goal attempts compared to only 23 for Evans. And to be honest, Evans actually closed that gap in the last 2 to 3 minutes there. Turnovers were 13-6 in favor of Timber Creek. That stat was actually 10-0 at the end of the first quarter, excuse me. And Timber Creek has come out here, and they're certainly not letting up as far as putting the metal to the pedal to the metal, as the saying goes. Coaching staff is still yelling for him to for the players to keep pushing the ball up the court as fast as possible.
Foul called against Daria McKellen, her first, the team's second.
So a 14 out of 37 performance from the field, about 33%, well, about 37, 38%. Again, at one point, it was about 25% for Timber Creek.
Foul is called against number 4, Shayla Lindor. That's her third personal foul, the team's third, and it will send Jordan Avery to the line to shoot 2.
So at one point, Timber Creek was shooting about 25%, and that was all that was really keeping the margin from growing over 20 points. Towards the end of the half, they did start to find that stroke again. The percentage did go up, like I said, it's about 37%, 14 of 37. So we now have a 26-point lead. A minute into the second half here.
Foul is again called against Shayla Lindor on the push. That's her fourth personal foul, the team's fourth. Colleen Shanahan shooting.
Gets a roll there. And Timber Creek has employed a mix of both full court and half court defenses. Obviously, with the 28-point lead, the strategy's been effective. And there's another common staple we've seen. Good tipping of the ball there when going for rebounds by Timber Creek. Not only are they tipping the ball, but they're also tipping it in the direction away from the basket, in the direction that their teammates are moving the ball.
Taisha Childs into the game for Evans. Taisha Childs floats it in and picks up 2.
So again,
blocked by number 0, Avery, and then rebounded by 3. That was Napoli that got the rebound there. Ortiz can't get it to go from 3. The putback doesn't go either.
The only, again, in general, all that's really stopped Timber Creek has been itself, and then you see a specific play like the last one there on the offensive end.
Foul is called against number 2, Tatiana Ortiz. That's her second personal foul. And the team's first.
Henderson and Shanahan both made an effort to get the ball, and then they realized at the same time they were battling a teammate, and they kind of let the ball go.
Sarah Napoli on a fast break basket for the Wolves. Savannah Henderson steals 2 for the Wolves.
And now Timber Creek, they've come out in this full court pressure, full court trap here, 1-2-1-1, and they're continuing to use it.
Block is called against Sarah Napoli, her first, the team's second. Checking into the game for Evans is Kiara Becker. And for Timber Creek, Ayanna Dixon. Held ball. Possession Wolves. Checking into the game for the Trojans, number 33, Francine Francois. And for Timber Creek, Willie Thompson. Checking into the game for Evans, number 2, Michaela Coates.
Evans breaking that pass here, taking a page out of Timber Creek's book, getting that quick pass up to half court.
Jumper one go for Dixon. The rebound goes to McKellen. In transition, we're going to draw a foul. Tasia Childs fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Trojans. Foul is called against Wolves number 2, Tatiana Ortiz. That's her third personal foul. And the team's third.
So still 4:47 left here in the third quarter.
Colleen Shanahan back into the game. Good pass inside to Thompson, goes out to the corner. Thompson to Dixon for 3.
Stop, pop, and drop once again. Passing, getting that player open in the corner there. 3 quick passes.
Another good rebound for Shanahan. Opportunity for a fast break. And nice work there by number 30. That's Kiara Becker who got there to block the ball out of bounds and save what was certain to be an easy layup.
And by the way, the 30-point lead is the largest of the game for Timber Creek. Well, it was the largest.
Melina Thompson on the inbound from Berkner.
A beautiful execution of an inbound pass. Ball was thrown into the while the stride was made.
Foul is called against number 12, Ayanna Dixon. That's her first personal foul. And the team's fourth. Checking into the game for Evans, number 20, Yasmin Hightower. And into the game for the Wolves, Annalise Rios. Thirty-second timeout is requested and granted to the Wolves. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mustang Arena as the Wolves continue to cruise here. Shanahan pummels her way into the paint, and Colleen Shanahan picks up two.
Again, I mentioned this a couple times in the first half. It's one thing to have height and size. It's another animal to know how to use that height and size effectively. And for as skilled and talented as Timber Creek is in comparison to Evans, the three players that Timber Creek has over 5'9" have done an equally excellent job of effectively using that 5'9" or high or taller frame.
Foul is called against number 21, Melina Thompson, her first, the team's fifth. Checking into the game for Timber Creek, number 11, Amaya Patterson.
And by the way, Mark, we haven't mentioned it yet, but 35 points is a running clock.
We're at 34 now, and we're going to get a foul. Foul is called against number 2, Michaela Coates. That's her second personal foul, the team's fifth.
So opportunity here to get the running clock established. Got the proverbial scramble on the ground for the ball.
Held ball, possession Wolves. Dixon is short, and the rebound goes to McKellen. Foul is called against number 5, Brooke Berkner. That's her first personal foul tonight, and the team's sixth. Childs misses the three. The rebound goes to Rios. Good deflection. And they're going to give that a turnover. Out of bounds, Trojans ball. Checking into the game for Evans, Amanda St. Louis, and Alicia Bethel.
So a lot of action in the last 30 seconds or so, but again, nothing tangible coming of all that action.
Out of bounds, Wolves ball. Wolves have been flirting with a 34-point lead for the last couple of minutes here. And another turnover. Out of bounds, Trojans ball. Good work there by Rios, breaking up the play, and while she didn't directly earn a steal, she successfully discombobulated the Trojan offense to the point where they ultimately turned it over on their own. And gives it right back. In case anyone was curious, it's been about 2.5 minutes since anybody scored a point.
Eek.
Rebound to Bethel. Amanda St. Louis picks up a jumper for the Trojans. Lead down now to 32.
Under a minute to go here, Mark.
Foul is called against number 30. Kiara Becker. That's her second personal foul. Team sixth. Maya Patterson is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot. The foul is called against number 30, Kiara Becker. That's her third personal foul. And the team seventh.
So a couple of opportunities for Timber Creek to further extend the lead have gone by the wayside, as they like to say. 30 seconds left here.
Three won't go for Becker. Traveling Trojans ball. Kiara Becker for three on the pass from Taisha Childs. And that will take us to the end of the third period. It cuts it to a 30-point lead. 51-21 is the score, going into the final 8 minutes of our last women's preseason game. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Mustang Arena. We are ready for the last 8 minutes here.
Yeah, the pace of this game certainly has slowed down. It's nothing, not slow overall, but nothing.
Foul is called against number 10, Annalise Rios. Her second, the team's seventh, 1-1.
So the pace certainly.
Tasia Childs is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 21, Melina Thompson, her second personal foul, and the team's 8th. Tatiana Ortiz back in. Second is a miss. Rios on the rebound.
So again, Timber Creek has really made its living on the rotation, the passing of the ball, which continues into the fourth quarter.
Basket scored by number 5, Brooke Bergner. Answered by Amanda St. Louis.
Timber Creek remains in the 2-3 zone. They played it the whole way tonight. Again, inside-outside movement by Timber Creek.
St. Louis on the rebound. Here come the Trojans. Air ball from Becker. Good hustle on the rebound. But another air ball for the Trojans.
Another turnover. And again, that was just created by anticipation.
Ortiz got the steal. Rios had the deflection that set it up. Childs can't score in transition. Rebound goes to Patterson. And we're going to get a traveling call here. Traveling, Trojans ball. And the Wolves, who were running a really clean game from about, mid-first quarter through the mid-third quarter, have really kind of sputtered here, and that has allowed the Trojans to stay in this.
Well, at least avoid the running clock.
Right, yes. I mean, the fact remains that it's still a 29-point game, but the Trojans have had the momentum, or at least, perhaps more accurately, the Wolves have lost the momentum for the past about 4 or 5 game minutes. Block.
Evans has been able to get quite a few more drives than they were before this recent stretch that you described there, Mark.
Kiara Becker is fouled on the putback attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against Wolves number 2, Tatiana Ortiz, on the push. It's her 4th personal foul, and the team's 9th.
Nice stroke. A little bit unorthodox with the arc and height, but nonetheless, It was smooth. Ball continued to rotate. Shannon came in.
Double lane violation. So the shot does not count, but we'll take another. Foul is called against number 23. Wait, they don't have a 23. 22.
Double clank there, Mark.
So that was officially against Savannah Henderson. That'll be her second in the team's 10th.
Ooh, hot potato over there in the corner.
Savannah Henderson is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against Kiara Becker. That's her fourth personal foul. And the team's 8th. So currently we're in a 7-point swing in the Trojans' favor, which now cuts to 6. Since about 6 minutes into the third quarter.
Yeah, Mark, both teams really look like it's taking a change here. Evans looking much more smoother, much more polished, decision-making better. The opposite for Timber Creek.
And Elise Rios coast to coast for a Wolf layup.
Again, now Timber Creek is seeming to find their game again. 3 straight rebounds. Fast
Number
break.
22, Savannah Henderson in transition for the Wolves.
Fast breaks created by rebounds. 3 straight possessions. A 27-point lead is now back up to 33. And Timber Creek has gone back to half-court man-to-man defense.
Yasmin Hightower gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. Foul is called against Wolves, number 32, Colleen Shanahan. That's her 3rd personal foul. Hightower shooting 1.
So we're going to get a stoppage in play here to clean up the court. Again, some water, I guess.
Yep.
Grabs Sweat. So a 30-point lead, Mark. Just under 4 minutes left.
Ill-advised pass. Wolves able to hang on to it. 3 won't go for Rios. Rebound goes to Coates. Lindquist has an open line at a 3, but it's short. And the rebound goes to Berkner. Opportunity to score in transition here. Rough pass, though. Savannah Henderson gets a basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. Trojans foul is called against number 1, Sierra Lindquist. That's her 3rd personal foul.
So it's been a while since we've seen that over-the-top pass catching the receiver in stride in transition. And again, Timber
Shanahan continues to be a rebounding machine. She's up to 16 now. She's easily got a double-double.
And Timber Creek continues to push the ball up the court quickly.
Is it 3-2? 3-2 or 2-2? Was it 3-2 or 2-2? 22. Okay.
So some debate up here at the table. Not necessarily debate, but trying to get correct information.
Foul was called against Henderson, her 3rd. Shooting double bonus, Francine Francois.
And yeah, Mark, we haven't mentioned it because the outcome was obviously decided a long time ago, but both teams are in double bonus. They have actually been in double bonus, I'd say probably with about 6 minutes remaining. 2:59 left in the ball game.
Lindquist is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 5, Brooke Berkner. That's her 2nd personal foul. Maya Patterson in.
Again, quick passing here. Rotating that ball from one side of the court to the other and then back.
Daria McKellen gets a nice block there.
So 2 minutes, 38 seconds left, Mark.
Francois got the block that time. Linder can't get it to go at the other end. Rebound to Patterson. Oh, and Rios loses the ball to Lindor, who has an open court in front of her but can't make the layup. Rebound to McKellen. McKellen on the pass to number 4, Lindor, for 2.
Ooh, smoker. Nothing but net, man. Nothing but net.
Ortiz for 3.
So we're under 2 minutes here.
Sierra Lindquist gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. The foul was called on Ayanna Dixon. Shot violation, no basket. Wolves ball.
So again, Evans has stuck to the 2-3 zone.
Steal by McKellen. Stolen back by Ortiz. Stolen again by Francois. And now we'll get a tie-up.
So
well, he just racked up about 4 turnover stats in a row there.
Yeah,
this will be, I think.
To say this contest has turned into ugly very quickly here.
Held ball, possession Wolves. I tell you what, though, you got to give Evans credit for not dying, though, because it looks like it was going to be a mercy rule running clock halfway through the third, and like it was a foregone conclusion. Turn out the lights, and Evans said, "You know what? No, we're not ready to go home yet." Tatiana Ortiz for 3.
So we're finally under a minute left, Mark.
So while Coach Bellamy will certainly have a lot to say about this game in terms of constructive feedback, one thing that she can give her team credit for is the refusal to give up. Their persistence has been noted tonight. 36.9 ticks remaining on the clock. Daria McKellen draws the foul. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 11, Amaya Patterson, her 4th personal foul. And shot rolls out of bounds. It'll go to the Wolves. Half a minute to go.
And now the coaching staff tells the Timber Creek players just to hold the ball. And that is going to do it, Mark. A game that was, or an outcome that was long since concluded. As you said, perhaps the only positive that Evans will take out of this is the fact that they didn't roll over and did avoid the running clock.
And that takes us to the end of the ball game. A dominant performance for the Timber Creek Wolves, but the Trojans certainly not willing to go quietly into the night, making it a great game in the 4th quarter. 67-36 is the final score. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out to support your Wolves and Trojan athletes tonight. Special thanks also to those of you who tuned in to our YouTube live channel, Wekiva Sports, or to the NFHS network. The Mustangs will be hosting more preseason classic action next week. We hope we'll see you there. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, Wekiva Sports, and bookmark WekivaMustangs.com for all of your scores, schedules, and more. For those of you in the arena, please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Those of you at home, thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.